We cannot solve problems with the kind of thinking we employed when we came up with them. Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today. If you're new, I'm Amanda. Welcome to the channel where we are all about shattering the mental health stigma. If you haven't already, please make sure you make sweet love to that subscribe button. Give the bell a few kisses so you're not missing any of this content designed to help you with your mental health or help you help someone else. Today I'm going to be reacting to James Blunt, Girl That Never Was. It's been a long time since I've done a James Blunt reaction. I'm kind of excited to dive back in. But before we get to the reaction, I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. I've been receiving some comments and messages about my partnership with BetterHelp, and let me be clear that I don't accept sponsorships from companies or people that I do not personally agree with and that don't align with the mission of the channel. Even though I looked into them before agreeing to work with them, I paused my sponsorship to dive deeper after receiving you guys' feedback. I spoke with current and previous therapists as well as current and previous clients of BetterHelp, and while there were people in both groups that were unsatisfied, of course, the response was overwhelmingly positive. I even had a lawyer friend look over their terms and conditions, and he said it was pretty standard for the industry and he didn't really see any issues. I know that there was some controversy years ago, but there doesn't seem to be anything that I can find that leads me to be concerned about the company now. BetterHelp has matched many people in the mental Amanda community with affordable, licensed professional therapists who have helped them in their mental health journeys, and I personally had a wonderful experience with a BetterHelp therapist. I was in such a dark place that leaving the house sounded like a Herculean task, and the wait list for therapy locally was several months out, and this therapist really helped me work through and process some trauma that had been a real stuck point for me. I just want you guys to know that I hear your concerns, I take you seriously, I do look into these things, and if you have any other questions, you can check out the frequently asked questions link that I will be posting in the description below. And if you'd like to receive 10% off your first month of therapy with a licensed professional, please go to betterhelp.com/Amanda Webster. That's betterhelp.com/Amanda Webster. Thanks so much, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. Now let's dive into the reaction, Girl That Never Was by James Blunt.
Darling, I know we talked about it one too many times, how there was something missing in our lives. A little life. So we tried. It was more than just a twinkle in your eye, but some things you just don't get to decide. At least we tried.
God.
The first casualty of life is the plan. When I look back, I'm not even sure that we were thinking. Somewhere she's probably dancing with her blonde hair falling like ribbons on her shoulders, just like we always saw. Spinning in circles in the sunlight. Darling, we tried, but now it's over. We had it all and then we lost the girl that never was.
Oh, I was not prepared for this. Because I'm a bit conditioned that songs are often about love and breakups, and so I thought this would be about a relationship that never was, or maybe the girl that got away type thing. I'm not sure I can get through this reaction. I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not sure if I can get through this right now. I wanted a little girl so bad. And I lost her too. I like the first casualty of life is planned, because I feel like we make plans and the universe just laughs at us. Like we're not supposed to have plans of our own, like it's just all chaos. But how many times I've thought about her dancing and held the shoes.
If I could say a million words to take away the pain, What kills me is you're trying to take the blame. You're not to blame. I'll never say I told you so. Sad I thought the worst. Tried drowning you in happiness. I only make it worse. We never should have picked a name, 'cause now she has a face. And now no matter what we do, no one will take her place. Somewhere she's probably dancing with her blonde hair, falling like ribbons on her shoulders, just like we always saw. Bright eyes spinning in circles in the sunlight. Darling, we tried, but now it's over. We had it all and then we lost the girl that never was. I know.
Rewind there for a second. As a woman, I can very much attest to the taking the blame part. Oh, do we take the blame? Do we ever take the blame? And I know that you're gonna flood the comments with all these nice things, but it never matters what anyone says, because it feels like it was our bodies that failed. It feels like it was us that failed, that did something wrong, that we could have done something different. Was it something we ate? Was it something we did? And she's wanted my little girl. I know a lot of you probably didn't sign up for this, so you might just be coming to the channel. And seriously, I feel like everybody has their emotional kryptonite, so to speak. This is mine. I feel like I've come so far in my healing, but I've never gotten over that yearning, and there was more trying than you could possibly imagine. It's just not in my stars. So she really is the little girl that never was. And I feel like James Monsters was emotional enough, and I don't think I really cried on that one. It hit deep, but I don't think I got terribly emotional, but this one just hits really close to home. But I will say, I have a wonderful partner, and he also tried drowning me in happiness, even while grieving himself, and even while, you know, we did share emotions. I will say that I feel like that's oftentimes a guy's response, or even some of your female friends. That's the response, is to drown someone in happiness, to try to, you know, be there for them and make them feel better. There is no making someone feel better in a case like this. Eventually you'll get to a place where you can cope on your own, but I do feel like you get so wrapped up and you pick the name and you have all of these dreams for your future and you have all of these things that, oh my gosh, I probably look like a raccoon. I did not wear waterproof mascara. I was not prepared for this. I do feel like you make all these plans and everything, and they just go terribly, terribly south, you know? And I don't know. I don't know. I wanna say something and I don't know what to say. It does feel like I wish people understood that you can lose a person. Like, I've lost my parents, and I had these memories with my parents, you know? I had all these beautiful times that I shared with them. And there is a loss that comes with that, of course, because you're yearning for that time again. But there's also a loss that comes with losing the dream that you never get to have. Like, the old saying, it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. I mean, obviously I loved her or I wouldn't be falling apart, but there's grief that comes with a dream dying, or a dream realizing that you could never have a dream. There's grief that comes with that too, and I wish people understood that. I wish people would wrap their heads around the fact that it's not Oh, you should be grateful. You should. I have a 13-year-old son. I love my son so much. But if anybody says, oh, you should be grateful because some people never get to have kids, F you. Like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to be rude. I don't mean to be, but oh my god, I just can't with those people. I feel like I'm rambling. I promise for those of you that are new, I'm usually far more coherent than this. But this is tearing open a wound that I honestly don't know how to heal.
I know we'll never know you. I know we'll never hold you. I never got to show you my love. 'Cause somewhere you're probably dancing with your blonde hair, falling like ribbons on your shoulders, just like we always saw. Bright eyes spinning in circles in the sunlight. Darling, we tried, but now it's over. We had it all and then we lost the girl it never was.
I can't even with that empty room. Just nursery you never get to decorate. The girl you're never to get to know. She never got to hold, that she never got to show the world, that she never got to give your love to. Oh my. I made it through. I didn't think I'd make it through this song. I feel very dissociated right now. I keep forgetting that the video's on. I keep forgetting that I'm supposed to be saying something. It feels like the mention of bright eyes for some reason really hit me deep. Because it's just like you have to watch that light go out. It's like you have to watch that light go out in your world. And it's just something I don't know how to ever come to terms with. Like, I went through so much loss in my life. So much loss. I've lost my parents. I've mostly come to terms with that. I've been sexually assaulted. I mostly came to terms with that. I've dealt with abusive relationships. I've dealt with pretty much like the bingo card of things that people could deal with, of traumatic things people could deal with other than war. But this is the one thing that I've been to many therapists about, I've talked to my friends about, I have journaled about, I've tried so hard to process, but there's just certain things that your heart wants, and you can't change that. But you have no control over it. You have no control over what your body does or doesn't do sometimes. You have no control over fate at the end of the day, and I'm not gonna lie, I hate it. I hate the world for taking my daughter away from me. You're making me want something so badly that I can't have. And the finality of his statement of just, we tried and now it's over. I literally couldn't breathe when you said that. I was literally struggling to breathe. Because it does feel like, in my situation, I was up here when I found out. I was on top of the world and then just lost everything. So it's like, we had it all and then we lost. This is probably the most relatable emotional song I've ever listened to. And thank you for holding space for me, for helping me get through this. I feel like just knowing I have the community to share with and open up to, and I know that there's gonna be so many people in here that have similar experiences, and it feels really good sometimes to not be alone. But I feel like I can't even look at the camera right now because I'm kind of just lost in this world and thinking. And like I said, I feel pressured that I should say something about the song. Obviously, he's very, very talented. I was excited to come back to him. I did not see this coming. So I think I'm going to be a little more hesitant next time I dive into James Blunt, because I'm not hesitant, but a little more aware that he tends to really dive into the emotional things that a lot of people ignore. I've never heard a song about this specifically before, so thank you, James, for validating these feelings that I'm having, and maybe this will help me in some way start to process, because I don't know how. I don't know how to process. If the professionals can't help, maybe James Blunt can. But thank you guys. I know that I've seen requests for this since I did Monsters. There were quite a few requests for this, but I didn't really see details about what the song was about. But I made it. We made it. I love you guys. I won't just ramble, but I don't believe in an afterlife. I don't believe in heaven or hell or anything like that, but I do have to believe that the energy of our babies went somewhere. I have to believe that, or I will go crazy. So I hope that all of that energy is out there somewhere, and that all of our love can get to that energy, just so they know how loved and wanted they were, so they can feel that. Thank you guys for holding space for me. I promise I do not cry to every video. I promise. I usually have much more insight to songs, but this caught me very off guard, and it's just very personal. So I hope you'll still stick around if you're new here. But I love you all so much for being here for me. Make sure you're sharing your stories here in the comments. Good, bad, and super crazy emotional way. We hold space for all of them. So I love you guys so much, and I'll see you soon.